Okay, all right. Again, welcome everyone to today's information session for the MBA program at Cal State San Bernardino. My name is Jessica. I oversee the admissions process for our MBA program here. And with us today, we also have Maggie, who will share a little bit about the online MBA program. And then we have Dennis and Celestine, who are currently in our program. They'll be able to give you their testimony and also just be open to any questions you might have. Um, Throughout the session, feel free to ask questions. You can either put those in the chat. I'll try to monitor those. You can raise your hand on Zoom or unmute yourself, and hopefully we can get all your questions answered. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. First, I wanted to talk a little bit about our campus, just in case you aren't familiar with our campus. Cal State San Bernardino is located in inland Southern California, give or take an hour and a half, 2 hours from downtown LA, east of LA. I should say, we have a beautiful campus. Here's some pictures, and our campus as a whole is known number 12 best bang for the buck in the West, according to the Washington Mutual, and also number 4 in the nation for social mobility, according to the U.S. News and World Report. So those of you who might have the opportunity, if you're local and have the opportunity to see the campus in person, I would encourage you. We love our campus. Now, I did want to talk, of course, about the program specifically, our MBA program. There's a lot of reasons why students are choosing our MBA. However, before I share what I think students are saying about our program, I'll let Celestine and also Dennis share their experience. I'll start with Celestine. Celestine, can you hear us? You can unmute yourself if you can hear us. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, Celestine, do you mind just sharing a little bit about you and what you like about our MBA program?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Celestine. I'm currently pursuing an MBA with a concentration in marketing here at Cal State San Bernardino. I have the privilege of also serving as an MBA ambassador, and I hold a graduate assistant position in both the Office of Academic Equity and the graduate office within the Jack Brown College of Business and Public Administration. So when I was exploring MBA programs, I was drawn to CSUSB after a conversation with a staff member who genuinely, I would say, listened to all I have to say, my aspirations, and helped me find the right fit within the university. So I would say my experience with her was what, again, it might not really make sense to some of us, but I believe the beauty of life is found in little things. So I was particularly drawn to the little things like this, the fact that she listened to me attentively to the point that in the course of my conversation with her, sometimes I have to say hello to make sure that someone was still at the other side of the call. So yeah, and that was actually what I was particularly drawn about CSUSB. And this very experience extended across board because when I was eventually admitted into the program, anytime I have a concern, anytime I have an issue to deal with or something to fix, and I walk into the MBA office, there's always someone there to not just listen to me, but also help me fix this problem or address all of these concerns. So, like I said, the beauty of life is found in little things. So I appreciate the fact that there's always someone out there to not just listen to me, but also help me fix any problem, address any concern. Someone out there reaching out to keep track of my progress in the program and also offer advices. I have individuals like Deloren, who has always been there, reaching out every now and then to check on my progress in the program and all of that. So what I appreciate most about the MBA program here at Cal State is what I would say is a comprehensive support system from the outset. So the faculty also It's something I so much appreciate. I've been privileged to meet individuals who are bringing more of practicality into the classroom, not just the theoretical aspect of it. Individuals who have proven track record out there, because as a business student, I want to see someone I can actually look at and say, I would like to do something like this, or this person is doing something that works. I would like to also replicate that. So that is one thing I've been privileged to experience here at Cal State in the MBA program. Lecturers who are also there in the business world with proven track record, who can share their experiences and also help me think deep into other things I want to do. So in the course of the classes, I find myself completely detached sometimes from the classes, and then the ideas they share will start bringing in maybe um, resurrecting a lot of ideas in me and all of that. And lastly, the career development services is also something I've taken very good advantage of in terms of helping me build my resume, helping me prepare for interviews, and also the graduate assistant position that is bringing me not just close to the university, but also exposing me to real organizational or corporate dynamics. So I'm excited to share more about my journey and answer any question you might have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Celestine. Thank you for your feedback. Before I open it up for questions, Dennis is with us as well. Dennis, do you mind just sharing a little bit about your experience so far?
Yes, thank you, Jessica.
Thank
Hi,
you.
my name is Dennis, and I am a MBA student with concentration in entrepreneurship. And I want to share with you a statistic that I found that an MBA holder will earn more than 30% than a regular undergraduate degree holder. So what I'm trying to say is that an MBA can change your life, and I feel that it has impacted my life in a positive way. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be a student at Cal State San Bernardino because I received a lot of support, more than I ever expected. And in what way? In the sense that before you take any class, it is recommended that you complete a boot camp class, which will allow you to have some basic knowledge of what the course will be about. So they want you to succeed in that class even before you start that. So that's something really great, especially some um, students who have been out of school, like my case, for many years as a non-traditional student. It's good to have those opportunities to refresh and or catch up in accounting or finance. My background is in operations management, but I decided that I wanted to take a chance and learn a new field, entrepreneurship. And an MBA will allow you to pivot and expand your horizons. And that's something that it's very special about an MBA because at the same point, I'm finding that I like marketing. Marketing has been very interesting, especially digital marketing. It's a growing field, and I feel there's a lot of synergy with entrepreneurship, and I'm just taking advantage of it. Another thing that I want to mention is that our School of Business, Jack Brown School of Business, has a writing center. It has a speaking center, and it has a dedicated person who is, I would say, counselor or advisor for the MBA program. Any question that you have, you could be walking down the hallway, and something comes to mind. You can see if he's available, and most of the time he will make time to help you out and guide you. So that for me has been very special to have somebody that's available to help you out in this journey. But my advice is that if you're thinking about an MBA, go for it. It will change your life. And it's Cal State San Bernardino is a smart choice because it's affordable, it's local, and it's a credit. And once you finish school, you'll have a lot of opportunities, and you'll remember me because it will change your life. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Dennis. So Dennis and Celestine took time out of their day to meet us today, so they might not be sticking around the entire session. So I did want to open it up for any questions. Does anyone have any questions for them? Right now is your opportunity to ask. What did it, scheduling, whatever, any questions for Dennis or Celestine that you guys might want to ask, you can, like I said, put those questions in the chat or unmute yourself. No? I don't see any questions. Okay. All right. Well, I'll assume you guys don't have any questions. Thank you, Dennis and Celestine. If you have to go, feel free to step away. Again, thank you for your for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. So I think Dennis and Celestine kind of covered it all. The reason why students are liking our program is one of them is the scheduling and how flexible it is. Most of our students work full-time or part-time and need a flexible schedule. And for that reason, we have hybrid programs and then also a fully online MBA program. If it's a hybrid program, all the classes that are in person would start 5:30 p.m. or later. Again, with the intention of you being able to work full time if you need to. We have a lot of resources. One of them is our dedicated student advisors. So this is very common at the undergraduate level. However, at the grad level, typically it's faculty that will advise students. In our program, we have a staff member whose full-time job will be to help students create program plans so that you know exactly which classes you need to take each semester. Dennis and Celestine shared, he's a great resource and he makes himself available to help you. We have also graduate assistantship opportunities, kind of like Celestine shared. And those are, it's pretty common. We see a lot of our international students that come will seek graduate assistantship opportunities. So we often see, those opportunities come up. We are one of the most affordable MBA programs in our region based on our accreditation. We'll talk a little bit more about cost, but really just based on the quality, the cost, and the convenience, we really do feel that we have one of the best programs locally and worldwide, really. And speaking of quality, we have some noteworthy distinctions. We're really proud to be CSUSB accredited. That's an accreditation that only 5% of the schools in the entire nation hold. So that in itself hopefully gives you an idea of what the quality of the program is. I wanted to take a quick pause here because I see some questions in the chat. Are they both going to the Naming campus? Yes, we actually do not have classes at Palm Desert, unfortunately. We have an online program, however, we don't have any classes at Palm Desert. Okay, so I don't know if that answers your question. There are study abroad opportunities depending on the semester that you're choosing. Typically, it's in the summer, and then if those opportunities come up, sometimes it's a class you can take that you can utilize towards your degree. All right, so I don't see any other questions, so I'll go ahead and move forward with the different MBA programs that we have. So we have an MBA in 3 different modalities. We have our traditional MBA that's in a hybrid modality, and we have an executive MBA that you could either do hybrid or fully online. Kind of go over the differences. For our traditional MBA, this program is open to all students regardless of your background. You don't necessarily have to have any experience in the field. The traditional MBA, you select a concentration or a focus area. So because of that reason, the length of the program is a bit longer because you're choosing your concentration. I'm going to go on to the next slide really quick so you can see the concentration options. So again, if you pursue our traditional MBA, which is a hybrid program, you'd be able to select a focus area or concentration. We have accounting, cybersecurity, entrepreneurship, finance, HR management, hospitality management, management, marketing, global supply chain management. We're adding also business and data analytics as an option. You can also do interdisciplinary, where you pick and choose from different concentrations, or you can even do dual concentrations as well. So you can select, two different concentrations, and you would just do the difference in the classes based on your concentration. Most of the options, as you can see, are 12 classes. If you opt for our cybersecurity or our business analytics, those are STEM designated concentrations. So those are a little bit longer. Okay, I'm going to go back now just to kind of differentiate the differences. We also have the MBA for executive that could be done, like I said, hybrid or fully online. For the MBA for executives, you do need to have at least 2 years of leadership experience in a role where you either oversee other staff, oversee a facility, are in charge of important projects within your role. We can take a look at your resume if you're not sure whether you meet the MBA for executives requirements. We can take a look at your resume. But the MBA for executives is 30 units, so it's a total of 10 classes that you complete. And like I said, you could do it hybrid or you can do it fully online. We have the fully online option for the MBA for executives. I'm going to let Maggie talk a little bit more about the MBA for executives fully online.
Thank you, Jessica. Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie Garcia. I'm the student advisor for the online MBA for Executives program. So just a few things to know. Like it states on the title, it is completely fully online, and it is also asynchronous. So there are no scheduled lectures that you have to attend via Zoom, no lectures on campus. It's definitely meant for the working professional and someone seeking executive experience. So what we do look for is 2 years of leadership experience. That can be met through employee supervision, project management. And the way that we confirm that is you send over your resume to mbaonline@csusb.edu. We review it. Once you get the approval to apply, you can go ahead and get started in your application. Right now, we are still accepting applications for late fall. So there's a session 2 for the fall. Let me give you guys the dates and I'll also put it on the chat. Session 2 deadline to apply is September 5th, 2025. And the program begins October 13th. So there's definitely still time. 30 units that you'll be completing in this program, 10 courses. Students are averaging completing this program in about 21 months or less. The program is pretty accelerated. We will be taking classes consecutively fall, winter, spring, and summer. As far as that goes, Jessica's going to go over the cost. I know there were a few questions regarding loans. Are there any benefits, things like that? So we'll be covering that. And I think that's pretty much it. So if you want additional information, you like to set up an advising appointment with me, or you want to get information on all the requirements that you need in order to apply, please on the chat, go ahead and put in your name and your email, and I can contact you directly if you are interested in a fully online modality of the MBA program. I look forward to seeing everyone's application, and I'll send it back off to Jessica. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maggie. And I don't think I said this, but with the MBA for executives, you don't have a concentration. The executive is your focus area in a sense, so that's why it's a little shorter. If you're doing a hybrid program, we run on a semester basis, so typically you're juggling, 2 to 3 classes. You can decide how many classes you want to take on each semester. Whereas the fully online program, you only take one course at a time, but they move really, really quickly, 5 to 6 weeks on each. So the modality is a little bit different. So once you start fully online, typically you have to stay fully online, or if you're doing a hybrid program, you typically have to stay, hybrid throughout the course of the entire program. So just want to kind of differentiate the differences. I do see some questions in the chat. Most of them I'll address down the line. But I do see one that says, when is the hybrid MBA program application due? if we do meet the 2-year experience, do we still need to submit the resume? We'll talk a little bit more about the application due dates. Maggie might be putting in the session 2 for the online MBA, but you don't need to submit your resume. It's not a requirement. You can apply. That's just if you're not sure whether you meet the leadership experience or not. We can pre-approve your resume before you submit and pay for your application. Okay. Now, what's required for admissions to our program? So in order to be admitted to any of our programs, you will need to have a bachelor's degree. You don't have to have it in a specific major, so you don't have to have a business degree for your bachelor's. We don't have any prerequisites needed, so there's no additional courses that you'll need to take. If you don't have background in business courses, like Dennis had mentioned previously, what we do is we incorporate something that we called boot camp courses, and they're free course modules that you typically students are able to complete those within a couple weeks. And you do that so that you're introduced to the concepts before you take the graduate level business classes. So that's what we do to kind of compensate if you don't have a background in that field. For your bachelor's, we are ideally seeking that you graduate with either a 3.0 GPA cumulative or within your last 60 semester units. Now, we will consider your application even if you have down to a 2.5. So if you don't have quite the 3.0, we still encourage for you to apply because we will consider your application down to a 2.5. What we'll do is we'll look at your application in a holistic manner. We don't just focus on the GPA. So as part of the application, what we'll do is we'll ask for you to submit transcripts from all the schools you've attended, not just with your bachelor's, including community college, if you attended those or other schools you've attended. And we'll calculate your last 60 semester units or your cumulative, and we'll take whatever's higher. We'll also ask for you to go through Cal State Apply to submit your application and upload the copy of those transcripts. One letter of recommendation, we're looking for a professional recommendation, so you can ask a professor, someone you work with, someone who's seen your work ethic, so no friends or family. We'll also ask for you to upload your resume to review your work experience. A statement of purpose, so about a page-long statement of why you're seeking our MBA. With a statement of purpose, we're taking a look at first, how you write, your grammar, and also what motivated you to apply to the program. And then once you submit the application, we'll schedule an application interview via Zoom. It's actually with me, and it's pretty easy. There's no preparation needed for the interview. It's just, again, to have the time for us to talk about your interest. We also have something called the business aptitude requirement, and that could be different for the traditional or the executive MBA. If you're a traditional MBA student, the business aptitude requirement can be met if you graduated from an undergraduate business program that's accredited. So just an example, if you graduated from Cal State San Bernardino's business program and you graduated with 3.0 or higher, that alone meets the business aptitude requirement. And it doesn't have to be from Cal State San Bernardino. It can be any other undergraduate business business program that's accredited. Also, if you already completed a graduate master's or another graduate level degree, that alone meets it. Another way to meet it is if you have at least 2 years of professional experience. So that's why we ask for you to submit your resume, and you'll want to include start and end dates for all your positions. Now, if you don't have the experience, graduate level degree, or graduated from a business program, there is a chance we might also ask for you to submit GRE or GMAT test scores. So they're standardized tests that are intended to gauge how well you'll do in our business program. So we try to work with you. You can meet the business aptitude, like I said, different ways. If you're seeking the MBA for executives, like we mentioned before, you do have to have 2 years of leadership experience. So you can't meet it any other way. You have to have the 2 years of leadership experience. I'm going to take a quick pause here in case I can elaborate a little bit more. Does anyone have questions on these? I don't see. All right. I don't see any questions on the admissions requirements. I did want to briefly show you a sample graduate program plan so you can get an idea of the courses you'd be taking as part of the program. All students, regardless of which program you attend, will take 60-10, admin 60-10 and administration 60-20. And then all students will also select 7 of the core classes. So essentially, you exclude one area that you don't want to take. So for example, there's 8 options. Let's say information systems is not really what you're interested in, then you would exclude information systems. If you're an executive MBA student, you choose an elective instead. Or if you are a traditional MBA student, then you would do a total of 3 focus area courses in your concentration. And then the culminating courses, I'll go back here. So all students will complete a program portfolio and also a comprehensive exam at the end. Typically, that's at the end of the semester. It takes most students about a semester to complete the portfolio and the comprehensive exam. Or you'd have the option of, these are worth 0 units. So you don't have to pay for them, even though they are required for you to take them. Some students, if you opt to pay for the culminating administration project, we can give you that information if you decide to take the project instead of the exam. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what the curriculum would look like. Now let's talk about costs. I know someone asked about scholarships, and this, of course, this conversation always comes up. So if you're seeking our traditional MBA program as a California resident, the total cost can vary just because you're getting charged per semester. But on average, if you're a California resident, the total cost of the program is going to be around $37,800 total for the entire program, or around $43,000 if you're doing one of our STEM designated that are longer concentrations. If you're a non-resident or international students, the fees are different. So you're looking closer to $53,000 total to $61,000. And while these amounts might look a little scary, if you're comparing it, you'll see compared to other programs, this is actually a very good price. And we encourage you to do your research so that you can be comparing these. That's why we wanted to provide you just the total cost of the program. If you're doing our MBA for executives, since it's a shorter program, for California residents, the total cost ends up being roughly around $30,000, and non-resident or international students pay roughly around $43,000, give or take. If you're pursuing our fully online MBA, there's a set fee of $33,000 because you're getting charged per class, not per semester. So that fee wouldn't change. I'm going to talk a little bit more about financial aid in the next slide, but feel free to put your questions in the chat, okay? Now, if you wanted to help with paying for your MBA degree, typically we ask students to file a FAFSA application. So the financial aid application, if you're a resident student and qualify for FAFSA, we encourage all our students to apply for FAFSA. This is the application for grants, which is government free money or loans, student loans. For grants, typically those are need-based, meaning the Department of Education will determine if you qualify for free money based on your income and household size. So not everyone qualifies for grants, and only the hybrid programs might be eligible. The fully online program, these grants are not available. So just wanted to let you know, the government grants are not available for the fully online, only the hybrid programs. However, everyone is eligible for the loans in case you wanted to help fund the program up front, and then you just pay back your lender once you graduate. Typically, those student loans are at a better rate than other loans, and all students qualify regardless of your income or your credit score. As long as you're in good standing with financial aid, most students will qualify. We also offer graduate assistantship opportunities. For example, Celestine, he's a part-time worker within our MBA office. And that's an opportunity you have to work part-time on campus within different departments on campus to get experience and also get paid to help pay for your degree. We also encourage students to seek scholarships. So the way scholarships work, it's money that was funded by private parties. So it's a little bit different than grants. It's not coming from the government. So scholarships take a little bit more work. You have to first research what scholarships you qualify for. So it's not like there's no FAFSA for a scholarship. Each scholarship will require for you to do the research, determine what they require for you to apply. Sometimes they're only available for undergrad students. It just depends. But there's different types of scholarships. The donor decides, who's eligible for the scholarship. So like I said, it does take a little bit more research, but it is, free money that's potentially out there. Now, once you apply, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to get it. There could be one scholarship and 50 applicants. So again, it's a little bit more work, but it's free money that's potentially out there. If you need help with where to start searching for scholarships, we can provide those resources. There's some trusted search engines that students usually go to that you can start with. If you're working, we also encourage for you to seek employer tuition reimbursement. You'd be surprised with how many employers are willing to help fund, if not all, part of your program. So, a reminder to check with your employer if that's an option for you. I know I saw a question about being able to use military benefits to finance your degree. We definitely accept that as well. We have a Veteran Success Center on campus that can help you navigate through your benefits. Typically, you're not required, but a lot of students who are using military benefits might opt for the hybrid program because there's benefits might be higher if you're doing a hybrid program as opposed to a fully online. But I don't want to persuade you one way or another. I would advise for you to, if you are seeking military benefits to pay for your degree, I'll connect you with our Veteran Success Center, and they'll be able to kind of further explain what the process is and how you can apply your benefits. I'm going to take a pause here since we talked about the cost and some of the financial aid options. Does anyone have any questions on any of these items? Okay. You guys are quiet. All right. Well, in that case, let's talk a little bit about what the program looks like once you've been admitted. All students will get a new student orientation in person and online, whatever works better for you, so that you can familiarize yourself with the staff, the resources that you have. We have the designated academic advisor who will be with you throughout the program, and we'll have different events throughout the year, some in person, some online, so that you can participate in our passport program. What that is, it's a program intended to encourage you to attend those events. And for every event that you attend, you collect a stamp, kind of like you would in a passport. And at the end of the academic year, if you collect a minimum number of stamps, you'll get a leadership award. We also have our student ambassadors program. Celestine is one of our student ambassadors, and that's where we select a handful of students to be representatives of the program and talk to students, prospect students, and just give them an insight of what it is to be a student within our program. And then we have also Coyote Network, which is our internal version of LinkedIn, where you are able to connect with alumni and current CSUSB students. So that's a platform that we have for you to, be encouraged to network with your peers. Some resources that we have to make sure that you're successful. We have our services for students with disability in case you needed any accommodations for our program. We have an office that can help you with that. We have a gym, counseling office, our Veteran Success Center if you're seeking the military benefits, the Career Center in case you need help with, resume building. They also host internship and career fairs where we invite employers to come to campus. That usually happens at least once a semester. We have a physical on-campus graduate success center where it's a physical space on campus reserved for graduate students. So it's a space with computer labs, a kitchenette in case you're coming straight from work. We have that designated space. We have different sporting events, a study abroad programs, and also Obershaw Den. That's more of a humanitarian center that we have on campus for students who are struggling with basic needs like food, shelter, again, just to help our students succeed and make sure that they're not struggling with any of those basic needs. Now, for those of you that haven't yet, I would encourage for you to visit our website if you haven't. Like I said, we post a lot of information on our admissions, but also once you become a student, you'll have resources like course information forms, scheduling appointments with your advisor, different deadlines. So that's at csusb.edu/MBA. So again, if you haven't visited, go ahead and visit our website. I know some of you guys asked about the deadline, so I wanted to kind of put those here for you to review. So we are currently accepting applications for the hybrid programs. At the moment, the application's open through July 15th. So you only have at least at the most 2 more weeks to apply for fall if you wanted to start this August. The semester begins August 25th. That's, like I said, specifically for the hybrid programs. If you're an international student, unfortunately, we've closed the application for international students because the semester is going to be starting soon. So the soonest you'd be able to apply would be for spring 2026, which would open up August 1st. If you're an online MBA student, you can still apply for session 2 to start in October. And like Maggie mentioned, the deadline for that is September 5th. So you still have time to apply for our session 2 to start in October. And like I mentioned, spring 2026 will open up August 1st, and the deadline will be December 1st, and that would be to start next year in January. If you're an international student applying for spring 2026, the deadline to submit your application would be November 1st. Now, I always tell all our applicants, if you already know this is the program you want to pursue, don't wait until the deadline. Apply sooner than later because as soon as you submit the application, we start reviewing your application and we'll be able to render decisions soon. That gives you more priority with class registrations and making sure you have all your documents ready on time so that you have a smooth process in the beginning. So I hope that clarifies your questions on the deadlines. Okay, I'm going to check the chat really quick. I have a Dana, I'll answer your question at the end regarding your experience, but I don't see any questions about the deadline. So I also wanted to let you know that we're on social media. If you are any of these platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, follow us or send us a request. I will actually be uploading a recording of today's info session on YouTube. So if you want to save our social media platforms, we post information for prospect students, but also for current students. So it'll be relevant even once you start our program, hopefully. Now, those were all the items I wanted to go over, but if you wanted to set up a one-on-one appointment with me, if you have a specific question that requires a little bit more one-on-one attention, you can scan the QR code and it'll link you directly to my scheduling page. So we can set up a one-on-one appointment with me. If you're interested in the fully online MBA, Maggie's also available, so you can reach out to her. We're here to help. So whatever helps you. In the chat, let me also put my contact information. And I'll open up for questions while I do that. Any general questions about items I didn't go over? No questions? Alrighty, in that case, well, thank you so much for joining today. If you have questions I haven't answered, feel free to stay. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining today. We hope you learned about our program and you got good information and hope to work with you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.